Hello, I'm Bayero Agabe. As we face the new society driven by data and information, Cyber Africa provides you a trusted platform. Here we understand how telecoms, the internet and the media are redefining our world.
Hello, Africa. Hello, Africa. Tell me how you do, Africa.
Cyber Africa, connecting Africa.
Before 1999, the major link of communication we all used in Nigeria was a landline operated by Nitel. After the introduction of GSM into the country, we all forgot quickly the effectiveness of this device. On this note, I welcome you to another discursive edition of Cyber Africa. I am Gideon Tobiloba, and I am standing in for your regular host, Bayero Agabe. Stay tuned.
Before the advent of global systems for mobile communications, popularly known as GSM in Nigeria and Africa as a whole, we depended solely on a wired phone service called the landline, provided by Nitel in the case of Nigeria and other companies operating in other African countries. Immediately license was given to capable companies to handle GSM companies in most African countries. Nigeria especially saw the end of the patronage of landline. Many developed countries like the United States and the United Kingdom still have a large number of people and organizations in their countries using landline, even in this jet age. Landline, as popularly called, serves lots of purposes but cannot be compared to what GSM has to offer, especially when combined with latest phone gadgets. Notwithstanding, a lot also can be achieved with landline. In 1999, when former President Olusegun Obasanjo opened the door for GSM in Nigeria, lots of other African countries followed suit, and it became a stable philosophy in Africa, and the landline was pushed aside. The Minister of Communications, Barrister Adebayo Shitu, believes the age of landline is long gone and GSM for the new era has to be accepted and reckoned with.
Time was we had landlines, all of not exceeding 500,000 for a population of more than 100 million at that time. And you knew what we went through, going to a Nitel facility, paying through your nose, staying there on the line for hours, only for, to be able to call for a few minutes and all of that. Today, with the advent of GSM, it's cheaper, it's more convenient, you can stay in the comfort of your home and call the whole world. And today, instead of the less than 500,000 lines we had when Nitel was in place, today we have more than 152 million lines in this country.
If developed nations can still be spending billions on land phone, and the question we should ask ourselves is, why and what benefit does it offer? In the opinion of the Executive Vice Chairman of the Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, Professor Umar Dambata, he thinks that land phone is still very much relevant and well needed in the country.
We need the landlines. You see, what is happening? The deterioration in quality of service is a result of the neglect, or the neglect of, fixed lines. Everybody, virtually every Nigerian uses the mobile lines. Okay, so there is a massive migration from this very, very important alternative, to mobile lines, the peak lines. That is what I'm talking about, to mobile lines, and we may not have the capacity, to be able to handle the massive migration from fixed to mobile lines. Most countries do it, concurrently. They maintain their old systems of communications, when in the days of analog communications, when digital communications, digital technology emerged, many countries did not just abandon their analog technology. The two coexisted for a while, and in many countries, I dare say, you still find analog technology side by side with digital technology. What we should have done is to ensure we sustain our fixed services.
The idea of bringing back land phone to Nigeria will not work if the opinion of the citizens are not sought, because they still maintain a majority of those who will patronize it. Cyber Africa crew went to the street to talk to Nigerians, and they have this to say.
It's a matter of choice. We have competitive markets outside there in different way. So when we talk of GSM and a landline, it's a matter of choice. So if I prefer GSM, I will go for it. If other person prefer landline, they will go for it. But for me personally, I prefer GSM than landline.
I think I prefer GSM because with GSM, you have your phone on you. You can make your calls anytime at your convenience, while you're in the toilet, even while you are traveling, you're in the plane, your phone is with you. So I think I prefer the GSM generally.
The landline that we are talking about and the GSM, it's just that, they employed a method. It was crude, and the world is keep on civilizing every day. The method you apply today, you cannot apply it tomorrow. And this landline now, they are not ready to improve. They want to remain on the traditional method. And this GSM find out the needs of the people. They find out they can satisfy the people. You can go about with your phone, talking with people without necessarily looking for landline. And so, as a result of that, you can see that these people, they are better off. And once they are better off, and they satisfy the consumer, they satisfy the public, then the public will follow them. Then you forget about that.
Yes, the essence of both is for us to communicate. You understand? GSM has played the role of communication since it came to Nigeria. You understand? So if you have a landline, it's for you to communicate. If you have a GSM, it's for you to communicate. So I don't think a landline has a value that a GSM will not have.
There is no doubt landline have no place in Nigeria, and bringing it back is not going to be an easy task either. All heads must be put together to make sure that the best conclusion is arrived on this matter, which will set the pace for many other African countries.
With over 47 awards, both local and international, Infotech Network, owners of DG Vision Network, has continued to maintain the top spot in ICT and digital revolution in Africa. Join us every week for the issues and trends and actors in the ICT digital ecosystem. I am Bayero Agabi. Join us at this time only on AIT.
That was informative, I guess. That will be the end of the show for this week. You can join us on the same station next week, same time, for more informative edition of Cyber Africa. I'm handing you over to the Kakaki studio now. I am Gideon Tobiloba. Bye.
Hello, I'm Bayero Agabi. As we face the new society driven by data and information, Cyber Africa provides you a trusted platform. Here we understand how telecoms, the internet and the media are redefining our world.
Hello, Africa. Hello, Africa. Tell me how you do, Africa.
Cyber Africa, connecting Africa